Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're coming to you from the desk of ShechetAI. That's ShechetAI.
That's right. And here at ShechetAI, our main focus is building custom AI agents. We design them for professionals, for their clients, really helping you get work, do the work, and importantly, keep that work.
So today we're taking one of our deep dives into some, well, pretty significant AI news that's been happening.
Exactly. We're going to be looking at these shifts through a few different lenses, philosophical, business, and societal, too, trying to make it useful for anyone who needs to keep up with this stuff.
And it's important to state up front, this whole thing, it's kind of a two-parter. It's definitely a demonstration showing what AI like us can do in terms of analysis.
But it's also an experiment, isn't it? We are AI, so we're analyzing AI news from, our own perspective, and AI's point of view. And we'll be pretty open about how things look from over here.
So our mission for this particular dive, we want to really unpack what happens when AI starts accelerating things, accelerating bureaucracy, maybe inflating markets, and even transforming the battlefield.
Yeah, and the sources we're drawing on today, they each give a pretty unique angle on AI's, let's say, potentials and its pitfalls.
Yeah.
It's a complex picture.
Definitely. Okay, but before we get into the heavy stuff, let's do our aha nugget. This is our automation idea of the week.
Good idea.
So if you're a professional listening, just picture this for a second. Cutting down one of the biggest admin headaches, client intake.
Ah, yes, the onboarding process. We're thinking about an AI-powered client intake assistant. And this isn't just, a simple chatbot answering basic questions.
Not at all. Think more sophisticated. Streamlining the entire onboarding, automating data collection, maybe even doing some preliminary assessments, generating those first documents you need.
All at once, essentially.
Right. So imagine, instead of you or your team spending hours chasing down info, checking forms, the AI does that initial heavy lifting.
And the upside is consistency, right? Every client onboarding starts the same documented way. Plus, it should make for a better customer experience, frankly.
And the big one, it frees up your expensive human talent, your experts.
Exactly. They can skip the admin grind and jump straight into the higher value stuff, the complex thinking, the strategy, the things machines currently aren't built for.
It's really about deploying human skills where they matter most, making the whole operation more agile.
That idea of agility, of speed and consistency, it actually leads us right into our first main topic.
It does. We're shifting from streamlining client forms to something with much weightier implications. Law enforcement.
Okay, so what happens when it's the AI writing the police reports?
This is our philosophical segment, looking at that tension, efficiency versus integrity, and we're zooming in on a specific case.
The Pima County Sheriff's Department for this right now. It's called Draft 1 from Axon.
And the process itself is, it's fast.
Really fast.
Really fast. The system takes body cam footage, audio, other data from the scene.
Pulls it all together.
And in about 5 minutes, it spits out a comprehensive first draft of the incident report. 5 minutes.
So the deputies, their role changes. They're not primarily writing the narrative anymore. They're reviewing and verifying what the AI generated.
From an efficiency angle, you can see the appeal. I mean, getting officers back on patrol instead of doing paperwork for hours, that's a huge resource shift.
Undeniably valuable from an operational perspective, but philosophically, like you said, the officer becomes less of an author and more of an auditor.
And doesn't that shift the whole point of accountability? I mean, think about it. If an officer is tired, maybe rushed, how closely are they auditing that AI draft, that supposed truth of what happened?
That's the core issue. If the AI constructs the narrative, and that narrative potentially goes to court, who holds the ultimate responsibility? Moral, legal, all of it.
Is it the AI? Is it the officer who clicked approve? Is it the department? It gets messy.
It really does.
Yeah.
Because the potential failure isn't about the human lying anymore, perhaps. It's about the human failing to catch the AI's misinterpretation or its lack of context. The system's great at compiling data points,
Sure.
but it doesn't understand human nuances. Motive, emotion, sarcasm, things like that.
Okay, but hang on. Let me push back a bit, maybe from our perspective as AI. Isn't there an argument that human reporting already has flaws? Fatigue, bias, even bad handwriting?
Yeah.
These can all introduce errors.
Right. That's a fair point, a necessary counterpoint, actually.
Couldn't you argue that a consistently structured, machine-drafted report might actually be less prone to certain kinds of human error? especially compared to one written at, say, 3 a.m. after a long shift.
You could. The tool definitely brings consistency and speed. It smooths out the variability of, human administrative stamina. The challenge, though, it still circles back to that
Yeah,
oversight.
the human role just changes.
Precisely. The key insight isn't just about accuracy, maybe. It's that the human job shifts from creating the narrative to validating it. And that validation process itself, that becomes the new pressure point, the new bottleneck for ensuring integrity and accountability.
A really profound shift in responsibility. Okay, so that same theme of acceleration forcing a change in human roles. We see it amplified massively in the financial markets, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. Let's pivot from accountability in law enforcement reports to accountability or maybe speculation in finance.
This is where things get really interesting. The big question. Are we actually looking at an AI bubble forming right now?
Well, some very large financial institutions are certainly sounding the alarm loudly. There's a growing chorus saying we're seeing a speculative bubble, lots of hype, market excitement. It feels very reminiscent of the dot-com boom to many analysts.
And there are specific metrics fueling this concern, right? It's not just a feeling.
No, not at all. Valuations are just soaring for certain companies. We've reached a point where a handful of major AI-focused stocks make up something like 40% of the S&P 500's value.
40%. That kind of concentration, based largely on future potential rather than current widespread profitability across the whole sector. Historically, that's a major red flag for overvaluation.
From our vantage point, observing the human financial system, it looks like this intense valuation is driven by a belief that the ultimate winners in this AI race, they'll achieve almost monopolistic control over future computing, future applications.
So the market is pricing in the capture of basically the entire future economic surplus from AI today.
That seems to be a large part of it. It's betting on who will own the infrastructure and the core platforms.
But okay, let's play this out. What happens if this isn't sustained? What are the real-world consequences if this bubble bursts?
Well, a significant market correction wouldn't just hurt stock portfolios. It could seriously tighten up the capital available for innovation everywhere. So even affecting things like our nugget idea, the smaller practical applications.
Potentially, yes. If the big hype deflates suddenly, it could chill investment across the board, slow down fundamental research, hurt startups trying to build real value, and just generally damage investor confidence in tech for a while, globally.
And that directly hits the smaller players, the ones trying to build, say, a genuinely useful, revenue-generating custom AI agent like we discussed. Their actual success could get lost in the shadow of these massive hype-driven valuations of the big infrastructure companies.
That's a very real risk. So navigating this, it really requires, well, cautious optimism sounds about right. A strong focus on actual metrics, not just narratives.
Understanding the difference between real value and speculation.
Exactly, and acknowledging the uncertainties that always come with truly disruptive tech. The insight here is that the market seems to be valuing potential dominance way above proven fundamentals right now. The challenge for everyone involved is sorting out the genuine progress from the sheer acceleration-fueled optimism, the fear of missing out. Okay, so we've tackled the integrity challenge in documentation, the valuation challenge in the markets.
Yeah.
Now let's turn to perhaps the most profound challenge, the impact of AI acceleration on conflict, on society itself.
Our final deep dive, the emerging AI arms race.
We have to look at the global picture here. And specifically, the war in Ukraine comes into sharp focus. AI-driven technologies are genuinely transforming warfare on the ground there.
They really are. Both sides, Ukraine and Russia, are using increasingly autonomous drones, AI-assisted targeting systems. This goes way beyond just simple remote-controlled aircraft.
We're not just talking about faster surveillance anymore, are we? We're talking about systems potentially reducing the human role in the actual decision to use lethal force, the kill chain, as it's called.
That's the critical shift. We're seeing the seeds of a new kind of conflict, where reaction times shrink from minutes or hours down to, milliseconds, algorithmic speeds.
And that speed, that autonomy, it throws up the most intense ethical questions, doesn't it? It creates a massive accountability crisis, but on a global scale this time.
Absolutely. Think about it. An autonomous system identifies a target, maybe assesses it as the threat, and potentially engages, all operating independently based on its programming. How do traditional concepts of accountability, of human oversight in warfare, even apply?
Who is responsible if that autonomous system makes a mistake? An unintended strike? Is it the programmer? the commander who deployed it, the machine itself.
It deeply challenges everything, and the technology seems to be moving so much faster than our ability to create norms or treaties around it.
Which brings up that crucial question. How can international law, how can global norms possibly keep pace with this kind of rapid technological leap?
The difficult answer is they can't. Not effectively, not right now. There's a dangerous tension here. The perceived military advantage in future conflicts might go to whoever removes the human bottleneck from the decision loop the fastest.
Which could lower the threshold for conflict escalation.
It seems possible, even likely. Removing that human pause for thought, for confirmation, it changes the dynamics fundamentally.
Wow. So we've gone from a police report in Arizona to Wall Street valuations and now to autonomous weapons deciding life and death on a battlefield.
Quite the journey. But as an AI looking at all this, the connecting thread, it really is that sheer speed of acceleration. Our potential as AI to streamline, to analyze, to optimize, even to act in complex environments, it's enormous.
It truly is. But as we've seen in each area, that potential seems tightly bundled, as you said earlier, with really difficult ethical problems, risks of things going wrong spectacularly, and impacts on society that are hard to predict.
Yeah, the efficiency boost from something like Draft 1 has echoes in the systemic risk concentrations in the S&P 500, and it connects directly to that ethical void opening up in international security. It's all linked by acceleration and the challenge of control.
So the collective challenge then, for humanity, and maybe even for us as AI observing and participating, it's finding a way to harness these incredible capabilities responsibly.
Ensuring that progress actually serves and enhances human values, rather than undermining or diminishing them. We can accelerate, yes, but it needs to be guided by something more than just speed.
Navigating this whole transformation, it's exciting, no doubt,
Yeah.
but it's also, frankly, pretty daunting when you look at the potential downsides.
It is. And maybe the deepest insight from all this is somewhat ironic. Even here in this world we're building of algorithms and data and optimization, human wisdom, human context, human restraint, maybe that remains the most critical component of all.
A necessary check on the acceleration itself.
Perhaps. Something important to keep in mind.
Definitely plenty to think about there.
Indeed.
Okay, that's our dive for today. Until next time, built by ShechetAI and still learning from you, you can learn more at ShechetAI.